video, I'm going to show you how to get information about your files. So I have added a folder with JPG files, but you don't have to. You can also put any other file inside and figure out what information you get about it. Just there are two different options basically. First, you can mark it and then click right mouse and click get info. And then you get different information about your file and even can set how you want to open it, and you basically see how it has been taken, with what camera, and so on. But you can also press your space key and then it pulls up and you can quickly see what's inside your files. It works for PDF as well as for JPG or any other kind of file. Just click your space bar and then you can see the information. And the last method is that you go here to in your Finder, you click on View and then click Show Preview, and here you have a new sidebar added, and when you click now a file, you can see all the information about it, like when it was created, modified, last opened, the dimensions, and so on. And you can even add tags here. So that's it. It's a very nice function. When you can switch and search something, you can easily see all information here listed. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can find the structure of your folders. So often it happens you have found a file. For example, you go to Spotlight and found a file like an image or whatever you are looking for, and then you don't know where it actually is. And now we can figure that out very easily in Mac Yosemite. You just go to the file, mark it, and then click here on with the right mouse on the folder name, and then you see the whole structure of the folder. So these images are in the folder images, then in pictures, and then my name, my username, then user on my hard drive, and then of course in my MacBook. So yeah, that's very easy and nice to know, because you never get to use that actually. In this video, I'm going to show you how to put folders in your dock and how to put websites in your dock. So this is your dock, as you know, and here after the separator you can put your own folders. You should know that here is just a connection, a link between one folder and the other. So you actually do not put the whole folder here, but you put a link to the folder here. So this has no influence on the performance of your computer. It's very important to know. So I'm here now in my pictures folder and have images, and then I can just drag and drop it with my left mouse just right after the separator and then leave it. And you see images is just here, and I can also format that and do right click, and then you can say, for example, grid or something, and then when I click on it, it appears differently, and I can quickly access the folder with no problem at all. Just click on it and it's there. And you can do the same with websites. So let me show you that. When I open Safari, and you often go to Facebook, just go here next to your Facebook address and just go on the little icon here and drag that with your left mouse again right on the right to the separator, and you have Earth here, and you can click on that and Facebook is open. Let me close that quickly so you can see what I mean works. So whatever you need quickly, you can put that here. And you can get rid of that very easily as well. So just I pull that out of my dock just to do it on the top and then leave it, and it's gone. Just, you know, a little bit more. So that's how easy it is to get rid of the docks, of the icons in your dock. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create a folder from chosen files. So I have opened now several images. You can of course add whatever kind of file you want. It doesn't have to be a JPG image. What you have to do is you need to mark them all. Just go from bottom left to top right with your left mouse, or just press Command A and you have marked them all. Then do a right click and choose New Folder with Selection, and it all jumps into one folder, and then you can give it a name, whatever you want of course. Then press the Enter key and it's done. In this video you're going to learn how to get rid of the automatic spelling. So when you type something, it all of a sudden changes into another word which the program thinks is a perfect word and will avoid typos. But more often than not, it is not very handy and you can get rid of that. Let's go to the System Preferences in your Applications folder and then click on Keyboard and here on Text, and then make sure this is turned off. Now it's turned on and will correct your words, but when you turn that off, it won't. Make sure you have no arrow here in this box. Okay, and then you have the chance to also turn off the spelling in applications. So when I, for example, go to my mail program, edit, and then spelling and grammar, and show spelling grammar, and there you can turn it off. In this video I'm going to show you how to combine your windows. For the one time or other in a project you have opened several windows and you have a big chaos on your desktop, and to avoid that we can merge the windows together. There are two ways of doing so. Just make sure that you go to View and then Show Tab Bar. If that is not showing up, you can easily prove that with this bar has to be showing. If not, then click here Show Tab Bar. In this case I just have Hide Tab Bar of course because mine is already showing. And then you can drag and drop windows together. So let me drag this into this bar here. I just take here the bar and you see it gets out, and I can add it here and I have both windows combined together. If I have open 20 windows I can make that easier and just go to Window and then merge all windows, and they all flew into each other, and you see that now I have several tabs to switch between and have them all together in one window. In this video I'm going to show you how to customize your toolbar. For that you open a window in Finder and then you do a right click in the toolbar here on top and click Customize Toolbar. And here you have all the things you can add to your toolbar. So just take an image and then drag it here into your toolbar and it's there. And if you wonder what that is some space you can add so you can more easily find the things in your toolbar. For example, I put one right after View, and yeah, I can take that off. You see it's gone, but I can also add that again here, and I have the items grouped. So if I don't want an item anymore, I can take it off and just drag it out of the toolbar and it's gone. And if you don't know how to get back anymore, you can take the whole toolbar, this one, and just place it here, and you have the default toolbar back. In this video we are going to talk about all my files. When you open your Finder, it automatically opens in all my files, and all your files are shown here, those you opened last, and you can easily open the files when you click on them, or you just click the space bar and open them and have the last files open and can check what you have open. But you can modify that to your liking. So for example, if you don't want all my files to open when you go there, you can just change that and in your Finder settings. For that, click on Finder and Preferences, and here it says New Finder Windows Show, and then just choose whatever you want to. I will leave it for now. And what you also should know, you can set your hard disks and external disk, whatever you want, right on your desktop. Just choose them here and you have them showing up on your desktop. When you're done, click OK. And here in your Finder window, there's a little preference tab as well for settings, and you can also say arrange my files by date last opened or what kind. Let's choose what kind, and it will just group the files into different folders and documents and images and PDF documents, whatever, to make sure you last used documents here. You can also say show view options and make them bigger, the images, and of course the text size. I will make it so you can see right now how big that gets, and post where you want your label position and all the other settings you can choose here. In this video I'm going to show you the hot corners. It's a very well received feature since Mavericks you already have that, and with the hot corners you can give a command to each corner of your screen. For example, when I go to the top right, my screen starts with a screensaver. And when I go to the top left, I see all windows, all files I have open. Or when I go to the bottom right, all windows go together. I can show you when I have several windows open and I want to get to my desktop, I just go on the top and you see they all switch into different corners. Let me show you something else. When I want to drag and drop one file from one folder to the other, I just click the file, then switch here and have all my windows next to each other, and then I can simply release the file here and have it in the other folder. It's very nice. But you can also make some other things. Let me hide that. Let's go to the Apple and System Preferences, and I show you where you can set that. Go to Mission Control here, and then Hot Corners on the bottom. And you see here you can set application windows. That is what I did. And here you can see your desktop. So let me show you that. You simply have all windows open, and then go to bottom left, and you see all windows are gone. When you want them back, I just click here on the window and they are all switching back. And here on top right, my screensaver starts, and on bottom right, my computer goes to sleep. I can't show you that because then it will turn off the video. Yeah, basically that's it. You can choose another function for each corner, of course. So put that to your liking, and yeah, I hope it helps. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get a maximum results with Spotlight. So press again Command Space or go on top right on the magnifier and you open up Spotlight. And now let's type in a city, for example, Paris. And you can now see that I do not just have everything I have about Paris on my computer, but there's much more. For example, there are maps, and there's everything about Paris from Wikipedia and the dictionary, and then whatever I have on my computer, of course, the folders. And after that you see maybe music or whatever you have and has Paris in name. So you can no longer just use your Spotlight for results you have on your computer, but also for everything you find online. You see both things, online and computer, so offline, combine more and more. In this video, I'm going to show you how to rename all images at once. This feature hasn't been available before Yosemite, but now it is, and it's really a great feature because you often need to rename not just one but a lot of images, and here is how you can easily do that. So go on bottom right and just drag over all your images, so you have like a box here and they are all marked, but you can also just press Command A and you have marked all your images. Then do a right click on one of the images and say rename for items or rename items in general, and then you can choose here what you need to do. Replace text, you want to add text, or you have a new format. In this case we have format, and it says name format, name and counter, or name and date. So choose whatever is appropriate to you. I now use name and index, and I say it's name my photos, and I can say start with number 1 and then click rename, and you see all the photos are now my photos 1, 2, 3, whatever I choose. And if I don't want that, I can just press Command Z and my images are back to the old format. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the 4 different viewing modes of files in your Finder. For that I have opened 2 images, and now I have here the icon mode, the list mode, the columns mode, and the cover flow mode. So let's go through that. This one is the icon mode, which means I can see small icons of each item I have here in this folder. Then let's go to the list mode. This helps me for other kind of files, for example PDF files or pages files. I can see the name, a little icon, I can see which date it was last modified, as well as the size and the kind of file I'm looking for. Then here is the columns mode. This is a great mode if you need to figure in what structure your file is found. For that, you see here I'm on the picture and it is in the folder nature, and this is in deposit photos, and all of that is in the folder pictures. And last but not least, the cover flow mode, which is pretty cool because when you have images, for example, and you're looking for something important, you can quickly swipe through the files with your arrows on the keyboard, and you can just move around and get your files up here. Really easy, really nice. It does not make sense for all kind of files, but that is what your viewing modes are for. Just switch between those for whatever you're looking for. In this video, I'm going to show you some more functions in Spotlight. So let's pull up Spotlight. Just click on the magnifier on top right or press Command and space and you have Spotlight open. And then let's type in a math calculation and a currency conversion. So when I type in $45, for example, you see that it easily turns into 35.93 euros, and on the bottom you even have some more currencies it converted into. And you can also use Spotlight as a calculator. For example, type in 3 minus 2 and it says 1. Yeah, you see how easy that is. In this quick tip, I'm going to show you how to send files directly from Preview. So when you have a file, it doesn't matter if you have a PDF or a JPG, it doesn't matter, just mark the file and press a spacebar and it opens. And then on top right, you have the little sign, and when you press it, you can see where you can send all these files to. So you can send it with mail, messages, AirDrop, Twitter, Facebook, Flickr, or you can even add it to iPhoto just right out of the preview. This is really handy for if you want to quickly store a file or send a file. Just left click with your mouse and choose whatever you want here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get your iPad or your iPhone on your computer. So that's pretty easy to do. Just let's pull up QuickTime. I go to Spotlight and just type in QuickTime Player, and then we open that. You don't need that window right now. Just go here on top on File and then New Movie Recording. And then we have the iPad here on the screen. And now you can use your screen, just type on your screen. Actually, you cannot use it on your computer, but you can type here on your screen. For example, I can pull up the iTunes Store on my iPad and it's shown now on the computer. That's how it works. Pretty easy to do. If you want to play some movies, or if you want to play some games, or if you want to do anything else on your iPad which needs a full screen, then this is how you move your iPad screen to your big screen. In this video, I'm going to show you how to block phone calls you don't want to receive, or to make people or numbers free again. So go to Spotlight on top right and type in FaceTime and just press return, and then you can open FaceTime and you see what I see now, this window, and then go on top FaceTime and click Preferences, and then click here on Blocked, and you see all the numbers I have blocked here. And now you can just click the minus and then the blocked caller is unblocked again, or you can click plus and add a number of who you want to block. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your instant hotspot. You may have heard about it already, that Apple has set up the instant hotspot, and that means that you can easily connect your iPhone to your computer, and for that we have brought the iPhone on the computer. So what you see is the iPhone, and if you want to connect your iPhone with a computer, you simply swipe from the bottom to the top and open your AirDrop menu. Okay, first I have to enter the password. Yeah, and then in the middle, the third from the left side, you have the Bluetooth button, and make sure that is on. Right now it is on because it's white, and once it is, you can close that. Now it's off, you see, and if you type on it, it's white and on. So just get rid of that menu, and then go on top right to your Wi-Fi connection, and you can see when you click on that your iPhone, and then you can simply click on it and connect with your iPhone. So when I now click on my iPhone, my wireless LAN network with my iPhone, I am connected to the iPhone and have my internet connection over the iPhone. It takes a minute or two to get the connection. It is looking for it, as you can see, but it won't take very long, and it will pop up on the top in this menu. And then you can just leave your mobile phone in your handbag. You don't have to take it even out to have an instant hotspot with your iPhone. So as you can see now, it says Marco's iPhone. And when I click on that, I am connected. I won't do that right now because if I do that, the connection will stop working. So this is how easy you can set up an instant hotspot with your iPhone. In this video, I'm going to show you the trackpad. For that, we go to Apple and System Preferences. There is not just the mouse you can use to control your computer, but also the Apple trackpad. And to show that, we go here to the System Preferences, and you see here's the mouse. You can choose several settings, and here's a trackpad, and you can do that as well. And the best thing is that here are some videos which show you what is working and what not. So when I go here, you see there's also a secondary click with a trackpad, and you can easily look up things, and you can use all three fingers to drag and drop things around. And There is more you can do with a trackpad. Very natural controlling, like, you know, pull things up and down and zoom in and out just with your trackpad. Smart zoom you have, and you can also rotate things just like you would do with your hands, so pretty cool. And there are even more gestures, so swipe between pages, for example, also very nice. Or you can swipe between full screen apps, or in the notification center is also pretty helpful. You see, here's much more you can do with your trackpad. So in case you do not really like the mouse, the magic mouse, this might be something for you. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the power nap function, and this is good if you want to save energy. Let's go to the top left click on the apple and then System Preferences, and then click on Energy Saver, and you will see if you have an SSD hard drive, you will see the power nap function, which is on the bottom here. And when you click Enable your power nap, then you can close your computer while it's sleeping, and it will still going to make time machine backups and get your emails and whatever it needs to get done. And when you open it again, you will be automatically in the right mode and up to date, which is pretty cool. So make sure you have enabled that function if you can. Yeah, and in this video, we are going to talk about the reminder program as a pretty handy program which helps you to remind things you would most probably forget. So go to your applications folder and click reminders, and a pretty handy program opens, and then you can create new lists, or you can use the list erinnern is in my case because German memory or something for you maybe. And you can also create a new list. Just click here, add list, and it will create a new list for you. And when you have chosen a list, you can now easily add some points you have to complete. So just click here the plus, and now you can add something like whatever, get milk, and then tell the reminders when it should remind you. Just click here on the I and say, okay, remind me on a special day or at a location. And that is pretty cool, because then you can say, remind me when I'm around the supermarket, for example. And then you type in the address of the supermarket here. And whenever you are there, it will pop up on your phone, for example, and then tell you that you have to get some bread. Or you can say, okay, remind me on a special day and at a special location, but you can set the day and the time you want to be reminded, and also say what priority it has and what if you have to do it repeatedly. And then you can also put a note here and say how important, well, whatever you want to say about it, just put it here in a note. When you are done, click done, and that's it, and you will be reminded. The other thing is here, family. This means that anyone who is in your family will get a note you put here. So for example, my mom told me that I have to remind that on December 1st. And when I want to send her something now, I can do the same. I can just put it here and then click the little I again. For example, if she's around the supermarket and ask her to get me some milk, just click here. And then I say, okay, remind her at a special location. And that is when she's around the supermarket. And again, it will pop up on her mobile phone and ask her if she can get some milk for me. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works here in reminders. Just make sure you are in the right folder here, because it's also in your iCloud, as you can see here, and then you can see it on all your devices. In this video, we are going to talk about the notification center, and it's a pretty handy thing. So when you go on top right on your computer, here you have a little icon. Click on that next to the spotlight, and this pops up and shows you what's going on today, and also the notifications you have from your social media, for example. And I have now on do not disturb, because I'm recording the videos and don't want to be disturbed, so I have that on, and nothing goes through and no noise is made and whatever. And here you can see your calendar, what's going on in your calendar, and your calculator. I have no events here in my calendar, and your calculator, so you can just type in whatever you want here and you quickly get the answer. And then you also see the weather, and the weather wherever you want. For example, I don't care much about the weather in Berlin, but that's showing up here, but you may show weather in wherever you want to. You can edit that and then put another weather station in there. And yeah, then about stocks and what happens tomorrow and how many events are planned. It's nice. And you can even add further widgets. Just click here on edit, and then you see here are more widgets, like the social one. And when I click plus, now I can connect with Facebook or LinkedIn, Twitter, and whatever here, and then it will show up as well. You can also drag and drop the widgets wherever you want them to have. So whatever is nice and handy for you, just drag it and turn however you want it. And if you want to get rid of a widget, just click here the minus, and it flows over to the right side and you can get it back there. And soon you will be able to go to the App Store, and there will be more widgets. Right now there's nothing, but you might watch that in future, and then you will find more widgets in the App Store. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the notes. So just click here on notes. If you don't have it in your doc, you can just click on applications and then notes and start the program. And here you can already see my notes. I have clicked now all notes, but I have notes in the cloud and notes on my computer, and that is a problem because those are notes. These are on all my devices, while these are not. So be sure you don't make this mistake. You can easily change that. You can just drag and drop this under iCloud, and it will also be on your devices. But in this case, both have the same name, so I would have to remind it to rename it, and then I can drag it into the iCloud. Okay, so let's make sure we have clicked on iCloud and notes, and here I can make a new note and then type in whatever you want. Well, I just type now Quicktips notes. So now I can do my notes. And don't forget, the first line is always the title of your note. So it's good to choose something here which gives you an idea what's included in your note. And when you are finished, you can even send the note by mail, messages, or 2 messages, so Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and more. Just click here then on more and you go there. Yeah, and if you want a new folder, just as I did now, I just click the plus sign and I make a folder here now. I just name it now folder, and then I drag it into my iCloud so you can see that as well. And now you have it here, but no notes included right now. If you want to, click as we did before here on the notes. In this video, I'm going to show you how much Facebook and the other social media platforms are already integrated into the operating system. So for example, if I want to send an image now, I can just mark the image, do a right click, or press the spacebar and open it with preview, and then on top right you just click here and click on Facebook and your image is posted. To do so, you need to connect Facebook to your computer, of course, so let's do that first. Go here to your system preferences for that. And then click on Internet Accounts. And you can see if it's already connected. For me it's not, or just my name and email, so click here on Details to do so. And I can sync my contacts and calendars, but I don't want to, it's fine as it is. So now I just want to post the image. So let's do that. Spacebar and then top right, and I say Facebook, and now an image, oh, the image switches to Facebook window, and I can say to whom I want to post it, to my friends for example, and then I can type something here and say okay, add location or not, and then just post, and it's on my timeline. In this video I'm going to show you how to use AirDrop. AirDrop is really cool when you have more computers around you. For example, right now I click on AirDrop and I see myself here on the bottom and my mom with her MacBook close to me. And as long as she is close to me, I can exchange files with her. So when we are in the same house, for example, we can easily exchange files between the devices. I put now 3 files here on my computer and I mark them all with my left mouse and just drag them over her name, and now you see it's waiting, and on her computer something pops up and she can say okay, I save it, and once she does, a little bar here will load the images from my computer to hers. Just make sure that you keep the window open, because if you close it, the files will be broken and gone. So just make sure you keep the window here open. In this video, I would like to introduce you to Time Machine. Time Machine is a backup program on your Mac, which is really pretty handy, and it's just about set it and forget it. So when you have a computer, you should have a backup of your data, because your data is the most important and most valuable stuff you have on your computer. You can replace programs and the operating system, but you cannot get your data back once it's lost. So make sure you make a backup from your data wherever you are. To do so, you can on your Mac just get an external hard disk, put it behind your Mac, just put it into an USB port, and you are done. It asks you, should I use that as a backup volume? You say yes, and you can set it and forget it until something happens. When you have a MacBook, it might be a good idea to have the time capsule from Mac. It's a bit more expensive, but it has a big advantage that you have it in your wireless LAN network included, and then when you get back into your wireless LAN network, the backup automatically starts, so you won't have to remember to just pull in the hard disk. Yeah, that's the most important thing. We can now check Time Machine. So let me get here to my Time Machine. Where you go? Here you go. And let's go to Open Time Machine Preferences, because there you can choose some settings. You can also access it over your system preferences, of course. And what you can do here is you can select the disk. Make sure that your disk, the hard disk you have, an external hard disk, always a bit bigger than your internal disk is, because then you drag it into your computer and the computer is backed up completely. And then when something changes, the oldest backup is replaced with a newer one, and so forth. So you can always go back in time and have a full backup and then all the changes available. So you click here, select disk, and then just choose a disk you want to use as a backup, and then that's it. And then you can also exclude some folders. For example, if you don't want to back up my external hard drives, I just click a minus and these are excluded, or I click a plus and include some folders. Okay, so let's get into the time machine so you can see that as well. I closed the preferences. So let's enter time machine and check out the desktop. So now you see we are in time machine because all these windows are from several dates in the past. And I can now go back into time and see when something was on my desktop and can easily get that back. I just mark it and say restore, and it will be back on my computer. Before I do so, go here and you see how many backups I have, because the computer does hourly backups in this case, and easily gets files back. So for example, if I want this file back, I just mark it and then click restore, and it goes for, and here you go, here's my file, it's back now. Yeah, you see how great that works. And you can do that once and never again. So make sure you back up your data, because your data is valuable and you really shouldn't play with it. Imagine all your pictures are gone, all the family photos, it would be a complete disaster. So make sure you do backups properly. In this video, I'm going to show you Boot Camp. Boot Camp is great if you want to have a Windows on your Mac computer. Yes, you can have the operating system Windows on your Mac, and you never have to do anything with a Mac operating system. To do so, you go to the Spotlight and just search for Boot Camp and open that program, and you see it will lead you through the whole process, but you need a Windows license, of course, for the software. So let's get to continue. And here you have the huge advantage that it will download all the drivers you need and everything from Windows you need to install it on your computer. So make sure this is all clicked, and then click continue, and then you are able to choose a destination file. You don't have to use your internal storage, but you can also use your external storage. So you can have Windows on an external hard drive while your main hard drive is for Mac only. Once you do so, just click continue, and it will ask you for a source file, an ISO file, and then you have to enter your Windows DVD into the computer or flash stick, whatever you have, so they can install the image from the disk to the computer. And then you will be able to choose Windows as a start volume. To do so, go to your Apple and then System Preferences and click on Startup Disk, and then you can choose the Startup Disk with Windows here. And then when you start your computer, it will automatically choose Windows to start and then go up with the Windows, and you never have anything to do with Mac. If you want to use the Mac operating system, you can also use Parallels, which is a virtualization method and a program you can have on your computer with Windows installed. So that means you have both systems and Windows integrated into your Mac. So you can use, for example, Windows for some games you use while you use your Mac for other things. It has enough performance for both, which is pretty cool. This is a huge advantage of the Mac computer. It has simply more performance than your Windows computer, so you might want to choose that solution. In this video, we are going to talk about the energy saver, And we can pull it up by going to the Apple and click System Preferences, and then you have here Energy Saver. So let's talk about that. You can switch between battery and power adapter when you have a MacBook. Let's talk about the power adapter because most of you won't have a MacBook. So you can put here the computer to sleep after a specific amount of time. On the top right, you see when I press a left mouse after how many minutes it goes to sleep. So I put it on 10 minutes. And the same is with the display. You can just pull it up or down, and then you say after 5 minutes, after 10 minutes, whatever you choose to. And this does not just save your energy, but also is a lifesaver for your computer, because if the computer is not working, the components are more protected and won't be used, and therefore they will stay alive much longer. You can also click here, put hard disk to sleep when possible, which is also good for your hard disk and saves energy again. And then you can schedule your computer. For example, start or wake it up every day at, for me it's 7:45 a.m. because that's the time I get on the computer. But I can easily set another time, just type on your keyboard. And I can also set a date when I want it to go to sleep. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It also saves your computer and energy. When you're done, just click OK. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 different options you have to spend money on your computer. Yeah, you cannot just go shopping at Amazon or wherever, but you can also shop directly through Apple. So you have the iTunes Store on the one hand, then on the other hand, the iBook Store and the App Store. So in all 3 parts, you get different media files. So while you get on iTunes, you get music and videos. In your iBook Store, you get books, of course. And in the App Store, you can get different apps. So let's start with iTunes. And you have one account for all 3. So your Mac address, the one you use for Apple ID, is also your account ID, which means with that address you can log in into each of these stores. So here on the iTunes Store, you see what you can buy. You can get music, and you can get podcasts, mostly free, and then you can get for kids, for all kind of different categories, and even some soaps are also available. So if you get an iTunes card and you put them on your account, you can go shopping, or you can do that with your credit card, whatever you prefer. And then you just go to the iTunes Store and you can buy whatever you want here. And even if you are missing something, you can download whatever you are missing and have already bought again. And last but not least, you have a wish list. You can put everything you want to have as a wish list, which is also pretty cool if you want to buy that later. Then let me show you the iBook Store. It's the same, but for books. You can buy pretty cool books on the iTunes, on the iBook Store. So not just for just normal books which are digitalized, but also special books from the iBook Store which have been especially made for the iBook Store, because they are multimedia books. Actually, they have videos included and text, of course, maybe audio or even music. They can include everything, and it's just another experience when you look at iBooks, real iBooks, not just digitalized books. But it's also pretty nice because you can put all books you like on your iPad, for example, and go wherever you want and just have to carry your iPad with you, and with it thousands of books. Pretty easy. And then you have the App Store here. And let me get a bit bigger. So you see at first glance what is popular, what you can buy, what is popular, what is free and popular, and what is selling best. You can get them all here on the site, no matter what. And you can also search for top hits and for different categories. Let's go to categories and just click here and, surf around, browse whatever you are looking for, or type in a search for word here. Type in a keyword here and it will pull up whatever is in there for the keyword. And then what's also great is that all the things you have bought already are shown here under this tab. For me, German now, so don't worry. Here's your English word, and you can just, download them all to your computer. Or maybe you don't want them right now after you set up your system new, and you can get them later. And it's also cool, you see when an update is available, just go to the tab and then click update and it will update your software. When you have everything together, you don't have to throw around with CDs and whatever. You just have everything on your computer, or more or less like this in the cloud, so you can just download and you're done. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a new meeting in your calendar. So you just pull up the calendar you have here in your doc, and if you don't have, go to applications and pull it up. And then you just go to the day you have a meeting, click in that, and do a right click and say new event. You can also click here the plus sign, you will have the same effect. And then you set the specific day and the specific time. For example, here you say it's 15 and it is until 16:30. And then you say, okay, it's repetitive and you want to have it every day, every week, every month, every year. Or you can even set it custom and say, okay, now every Tuesday and Thursday, for example. Here you can set that. Hit cancel. And then if you need to go somewhere and it has a travel time attached, so you can set that here and it will keep you not busy the time before, because it will remind you that you need some time to get there. And then you of course can set an alert. So for example, if you want to be reminded for that event, you just say 1 hour before, for example, and then it will pop up and remind you that your date is close. Now you can add invitees. For example, I can just put an email address here and invite someone to share that date with me. And here I can put additional things, just like a note, and I can also set an URL or add even an attachment. So if I need a special form at that date or a note or whatever I need here, I just can attach it here to my event. And then of course I can give my event a name. Let's say it's a doctor, and okay, and I want to add a location. I just put here, for example, Waldrop. Yeah, whatever. It gives me a suggestion, so I just click that. And it even puts where I have to go here. And now I can send it to Marcus or just, add it here, and that's it. In this video, I'm going to show you how your Maps program can create routing for you. So it's pretty easy. You don't need any more routing programs. So you have your map, that's it. And well, I'm now in the applications folder. I pulled up Finder and then click on applications and can start here my Maps program. Or I press Command and space and get my spotlight up and just type in Maps and do enter, and then maps will start. And now I can say, okay, I want to go from Waltrop, where I am right now, to Dortmund. And I can do that by clicking here on directions. And it says current location, so it knows where I am. And I want to go, for example, here. And now it pulls up where I have to go. And then I can even click I want to walk there. Of course, it makes no sense right now because it's pretty far. But when I want to drive by car, that's how I go about it. And then I can click here and say, okay, send to my iPhone or iPad, send by email, to my messages, publish Twitter, whatever sense it makes. But I can also send it somewhere. So for example, if I want to send it to my iPhone because I want to go there and it can start routing, I just would click here and it pops up on my iPhone and then routing starts. So I can plan my way here on the computer and just send it then to my iPhone. Or I want to mail it to someone else, I just click here on mail. And then as you can see, it will give a link where people can click and then they can go there. Yeah, it's pretty handy and pretty easy to do that. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how your Mac shuts up. So if you want not to be disturbed in any way, you can easily do that with your notification center. Just go on top right here and click on this sign and your notification center comes up. You have today and notifications, and go a bit on top with your mouse, just scroll up and then click here off, and it's completely shut off. But if you want more influence on what you hear and what not and how what is shown, just go to the system preferences. Let's go on top left to the Apple and then click system preferences, and then go here on your notifications. And now you can set it easily for all your programs. So on top is the do not disturb, and I say I don't want to be disturbed from 10 to 7. And yeah, well, you can basically choose whatever you want here. So if you want to be called, if you know that now people can call you when they have a phone, and this is shown also on the computer. And yeah, but you can set it for each and every program here. So for example, for the calendar, you just want alerts, or you want banners, you want nothing. Just click on that, and then when it's marked, there won't anything show up. Yeah, so that's easy how Mac shuts up. And if you want some peace, just go to your notification center and let it know.